This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories. Welcome to the review of the third episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, titled The Power Broker. And honestly, I really like this episode, and I think it might be my favorite of the series so far. I definitely like the relationship between Sam and Bucky, and it's definitely even better here. They're great, kind of like frenemies, and I think one of the best parts was Zemo. I think he does a very good job interacting with these characters, and it was an amazing scene just seeing how he broke out of the prison. And I just really enjoyed this episode. Overall, it was great. I like it that the Flag Smashers aren't fully sympathetic villains, and they're still doing bad things, which is, if you want to make them a sympathetic villain still, I'm not really sure if they are, but it seems like they might. They would at least have to do it in the style of a Darth Vader, where they still have committed horrible acts, but were still able to be redeemed in the end. And I definitely think that this is the best type of sympathetic villain to have. One that has fallen so far and has become a traditional villain, but is able to figure out the error of their ways and be able to return themselves to being the man or woman they just once were. But honestly, I really don't want to see redemption for the Flag Smashers. I think they're definitely more interesting to be kept as an antagonist, but who knows. And with talking about the Power Broker, I don't know if the Power Broker will even be taken out in this. It may be more of a mysterious character, and could be just kind of like a side character that gets referenced in many Marvel properties, including future properties. Maybe it'll be in the new Spider-Man film, where if there is a Sinister Six, they do help arm the Sinister Six with some of the members, and even more could be crazy. I just think that the Power Broker is a good villain to set up as a more of a secondary antagonist, maybe a third antagonist, or however you say it. I don't really want to figure it out. But overall, I think the Power Broker would be a great second or third tier villain for the MCU, where it's more of a background villain. And I think that'd be a great way to do it. And I'm not even sure if the Power Broker's gender is confirmed yet. I can't really remember. I mean, I'm watching this piece by piece to break it all down. But I'm thinking it's male, but I could be wrong. Just keep on watching. I think that this has been a really good show. And I think it's definitely interesting to see that the character of Sharon Carter is being treated very differently, and that she had to face all these bad things, as presumably for Bucky and Falcon, they didn't have to face things that were as bad, because for most of the time, they were dead, and then they were parted after. But it's also interesting when you start thinking about it, how Captain America's legacy is seen as so great, when, to most people, he was just a wanted fugitive. But with him bringing them back to life, that's probably the reason that he is seen in such a good way, even considering everything that happened in the Civil War. But also looking at it, thinking about the new Captain America, we definitely seen the cracks beginning to form in this episode when he's interrogating at the prison, and one person spits in his face, and he starts going to flip out on them. And that's definitely something that we know Steve Rogers would never do. He would be calm and the better man in the situation. And I'm really interested to see what will throw him over the edge and just really lose it to make either Sam or Bucky, but it seems more like it would be Sam take the mantle of Captain America. I wonder if he is going to take the Super Soldier Serum, and that will be it. But also, I am very curious to see if Sam will take the Super Soldier Serum. I honestly really have no idea. I feel like that could be an interesting concept to put in, but it could be 50-50 at this point. I think that the scenes where they were in the city were very intense, And two of the best ones were when they were in the meeting with one of the power broker's agents, and when watching it, I almost immediately knew that this wasn't the power broker, even before they said it, because I don't know what it was, I just had a feeling that they wouldn't have the power broker in this episode, or if it was, it would be a small cameo. And before she even died, I was just like, I don't know what it is, I just don't feel like this is the power broker. But that was a very good scene, building up the intensity until they got to the phone call, which I feel like is kind of like a cheap way out of it. They could have found a better way, especially considering that Sam Wilson's probably one of the most famous men on the planet. But either way, it works. What else I was looking at is the other scene that was really good was the one inside of that crate lab, which was very intense and led to the death of that one scientist who recreated the super soldier serum, which was a very obvious scene, but was played out very well. And looking at all the episode, I definitely liked that fight after. It was very intense, and I'm interested why Zemo wants to stay with them, because he easily could have betrayed them and let them die. The last thing I want to talk about quickly is the fact that Black Panther might make a cameo in this. I don't know if the actor, Chadwick Boseman, filmed a scene before he passed away late last year, but since some of this was filmed before the pandemic, it could be possible. Or the reason that the Wakanda guard did appear, I don't remember her name, I'm pretty sure it's Ada Koye, is because this was originally meant to be Black Panther in the film, or show it meant, and they didn't really get a chance to put him in. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories, and may the Force be with you.